Okay, I'm going to a place in Texas. It's called Dallas, Texas, which is right here. And the date was November 22nd, 1963, when President John F. Kennedy flew from Fort Worth in Air Force One and landed right here at Love Field in Dallas, Texas. His motorcade pulled out of Dallas, Texas at 11:55, right about in here. And they made a left turn onto Mockingbird Lane, came through here, made a right turn onto Lemon Avenue, took Lemon Avenue way down to this area here called Turtle Creek, made a right turn on this street here called Cedar Springs, and they took it all the way down to this road right here called Harwood Street. They made a right turn on Harwood, followed it all the way through here, and then made a right turn on Main Street right here. And when they got into this area, they made a right turn on Houston. This is Dealey Plaza. Now, their original plan was to turn right on Houston, make a left on Elm, wave to everybody, get on the Stemmons Freeway, and head up to this location right here where the president was going to give a speech, right here in this building. That was the plan, but we all know everything changed right back here after he made that infamous left turn onto Elm Street. Now, there's a lot of theories out there, and I'm not going to get into them, but what I am going to tell you is this, that a guy by the name of Max Holland in 2011 made a National Geographic film titled JFK: The Lost Bullet, and he used modern-day technology to do an excellent job of explaining what happened. And after watching that, I 100% agree. His theory is what actually happened. So I'm going to go down to street level here and explain it, starting right here. Okay, so back up a little. Now, here we are on Houston Street. It runs north, and the president made a left turn right here onto Elm Street. This right here is the window where Lee Harvey Oswald fired out of. And at the time it happened, standing right here next to this little pillar, this little wall, was a 15-year-old boy named Amos Ewings, last name spelled E-U-I-N-S. He was watching the president come around through here and around through here, and he said when the president was roughly right in here, he heard a shot, and he looked up and he saw what looked like a pipe sticking out of this window here. There was also another witness that was there, and she said that she also heard the first shot when the president was roughly right in here. Now I'm going to move forward a little. Now, so he was standing here and he said it was right about in here. They both said, several witnesses said it was right about in here where they heard the first shot. Now over here on this wall, the famous film filmed by Abraham Zapruder, he was standing right here on this little wall right here, and he didn't start to film until the president was right about in here. So that means he started filming after the first shot was fired. He never captured the first shot. So Lee Harvey Oswald was up here. He fired. It didn't hit the president. They couldn't figure out why. But what Max Holland found out in his documentary is that when he fired, it actually came down and hit this light signal, or a light signal that was here, and got deflected down the road. Now I'm going to exit Street View here, and I'm going to go to this area right here, back to Street View. And at that time, because the president's motorcade was coming through, all the traffic was stopped, and there was a guy by the name of James Tagg who stopped underneath right here, got out and stood roughly right here in this area. And you can see from here, there's where the shooter shot from. Light signal is roughly right in here. The president was over here. And as he was standing here, that first shot came out of the window, hit the light signal, got deflected, hit the curb somewhere in here, and either a piece of the cement or a piece of the bullet deflected up and hit James Tagg in the right cheek and made him bleed. Now, I'm going to go back to here, back to street level, right about here. Okay, so I'm going to turn around and you can see right here, this is the window that Lee Harvey Oswald fired out of. And as I turn it around, you can see the light signal. I'm going to back up a little. It's right about here. So you can see the window up here. It's right there. The president was roughly right in here. Bullet came down, and according to the documentary, it hit roughly right in here. This is not the original light signal that was there. It's been replaced, but the bullet hit roughly right in here and was deflected out down the road, hit the curb over here, and James Tagg, who was standing here, got some debris on his cheek, some either concrete or lead fragment. Now I'm gonna go down the road here, and you can see as you go down the road, there is an X right here. That's the location of the second shot. That would be the first shot that hit President Kennedy in the back, went through, came out his throat, hit Governor Connolly in the back, came out his chest, went through his right wrist, deflected off the bone, and embedded in his left thigh. And all that was filmed from right here. This is where Abraham Zapruder was standing on this section here. So that was the second shot. And remember, Abraham Zapruder, who was standing here, never filmed the first shot. He started filming after the first shot was fired. And then he got the third and fatal shot, the final shot, right here where this X marks the spot. He was standing here, and that's the location where the film shows the president's head exploding, where he was killed instantly. Now they were supposed to go, I'm going to exit Street View here, and they were supposed to, after this, they were supposed to get on the Stemmons Freeway and head up here to this location right here. But instead, they ended up having to, I'm going to head north here so I can see it a little better. So they were supposed to go here. President was going to give his speech, and then they were going to go back to Love Field right here and fly back to Washington, D.C. But instead, he was shot. They bypassed it and ended up going to this hospital right here. Parkland Hospital, where of course they pronounced him dead, but we all know, pretty certain he was killed instantly, the instant that third bullet struck him in the back of the head. So there you have it. John F. Kennedy's assassination from Google Earth, the route that he was supposed to take, and then the route that he actually took when he was killed.